I'm Mick McCarthy.
And I'm Tony Pulis.
And welcome to The Managers. But you again went close to clinching silverware, reaching the FA Cup final.
Yeah.
Do you ever look back and think you could have done something different?
Oh, totally. I blame myself for not being more adventurous. I honestly believe that we'd nick something. I've picked the team for the next game with still 10 minutes to go of the game I'm fucking playing. I have.
Do you regret leaving Villa?
Oh, totally.
Our guest this week, John Gregory, made his name as a versatile midfield player that played in every division in Football League Pyramid, featuring for the likes of Aston Villa, Brighton, QPR, Derby, and of course England. He first moved into management in 1989 and has since taken charge of 600 matches, enjoying a hugely successful spell in charge of Aston Villa in the late 90s. It's our great pleasure to welcome to The Managers John Gregory. Welcome, John.
Thank you very much.
Welcome, John.
Gentlemen.
I always start with this, John. When you were younger, when you were in school, if you can remember that far back.
Of course I can.
Who was the big influences for you?
My dad obviously was a footballer. He'd played football for West Ham in the early 50s. So he was a professional. And he played with the likes of Johnny Bond, Kenny Brown, Franco Farrell, Malcolm Allison back in the day.
Would Harry have been in that group?
Harry actually played for West Ham A team.
At that time?
My dad went on to become a manager at a team called St Neots Town up in Cambridgeshire. And they played in the Metropolitan League, of which West Ham A team were in, Tottenham A team were in, Arsenal A team. And I can remember watching Harry. I can remember watching him, big baggy white shorts he used to wear. I can remember him playing right wing for the West Ham A team. That would be in sort of the mid-60s.
Yeah.
I would think something like that. So, you know, I was always sort of had football around me.
And what was Dad like? Was he strong?
That was
he
all
a
right.
strong man?
Yeah, he was strong. He was from the East End of London, so he was. He'd had a tough upbringing.
Good standards, John.
Yeah, good standards, and he obviously used to come and watch me play on a Saturday morning, and I hated it. I absolutely hated it.
Because was he critical?
Oh man, was he?
That's a rhetorical question, that, by the way. I know it was, but go on, tell us.
Well, we used to sort of start just warming up. We'd be kicking the ball, just about to kick off, and I'd look over, and all the dads were on the side, you know, and I was thinking, oh, my dad's not here. Great. I was now totally relaxed. Yeah. And then suddenly I would hear, Johnny, get stuck in, you know, on the side. And I think, oh, Dad's here. And I'd suddenly go to pieces, Mick. Honestly, I just went, and everything I did was wrong.
Yeah.
You know, if I passed it, I should have shot. If I shot, I should have passed it. I should have tackled somebody, should have got stuck into somebody. And I just heard his voice all the time. And, no, he was really more of a hindrance.
Yeah. So that continued all the way through, didn't it?
All the way through. And I'll tell you one particular.
Have you got a good story about it?
Yeah, I'll tell you one particular instance. One Saturday morning, he didn't come to the game. And we played a team called Ramsey. And they beat us 4-0. They were brilliant. I can remember them. They smashed us 4-0. And I obviously went home, and Dad come home a little bit later. And he said, oh, how did you get on this morning? I said, we won 1-0. He said, did you? He said, who scored? And I said, I did, penalty. I was too scared to tell him that we'd lost 4-0. Mick, I was too scared to tell him.
Did he ever find out?
Of course, went down the pub Sunday lunchtime. Stupid me. Went down and I should have worked this one out better than I did. He's gone down the pub on Sunday lunchtime. And of course, seen all the other dads, and he's obviously walked in and said, "Hey, what a win yesterday! Hey, my Johnny scores the winner." And they've obviously all said to him, "What are you on about? They got beat 4-0. No, my Johnny told me that they won 1-0. No, so obviously then he come home and I suffered a little bit, mate. I was pinned up against the wall in the kitchen. You ever fucking say that to me?
So that's how you start with your dad.
It was hard,
probably
yeah.
like most of us, but
yeah,
then
it was hard. And
let's start at the beginning though. So professional career or,
Yeah.
during your playing days you worked under, none of them might have been as tough or as uncomplimentary as your dad was, as all dads are. Billy Baxter, Bill Dodgin, Ron Saunders, Alan Mullery, Terry Venables, Bobby Robson, Frank Sibley, Jim Smith again. Jim gets more mentions on this podcast
anyone
than
else.
anyone else. And Arthur Cox. So
Bill Dodgin, was that senior or junior?
Junior, Bill Dodgin Jr.
I worked with his dad.
Bill Dodgin Jr. came to Northampton from Brentford, I think.
Yeah.
He was a London boy. It was good because he knew everybody.
Yeah.
Bill, very well respected, and he come there and he just got us playing football.
Yeah.
And he got us we won promotion, I think, maybe in his first or second year. We went up finishing second that year and got promotion out of the old 4th division, League 2 as it is now. And Bill was great. He just wanted us to play. And he brought with him, he knew the London scene, like the football combination. He knew that quite well. So we got a few players that came up from Tottenham, from Arsenal.
So your playing career, John, started at Northampton.
Yeah, that was me.
In the lower leagues.
In the lower leagues, and
so
learnt your trade.
Yeah, I was going to say, how much did that affect your career or influence your career?
Influenced my career enormously. The fact that I played 187 matches for them. From
what age?
From the age of 18. I made my debut in 73, I think it was, and I played 187 matches. In almost every position for them, I became very versatile. I was always happy just to get in the 11.
Yeah,
Not so sure we even had subs in those days, mate. We might have done.
It's a proper learning curve, isn't it?
It was, yeah.
When you're playing against bigger, stronger, tougher guys, and it was a physical time at the time.
Very much so.
Lower leagues.
I can remember playing against a bloke called Eric Redrobe, who played for Hereford. And he just elbowed me for like 90 minutes.
Was Addo there then at Hereford? Colin Addison?
Yeah, I think he was manager, actually.
Yeah,
I think he
Colin
was
would have
manager.
been manager. Yeah.
But yeah, the physical side of it, Mick, it taught me so much, people elbowing you, punching you. I can remember playing for Northampton youth team. I got in the youth team as a 16, 17-year-old, playing against Aston Villa, and they had about 6 or 7 Scotsmen in the team. And they were hard as honestly, unbelievable. It was like playing against men.
Yeah.
They left their foot in all over the pitch and they'd be elbowing you and fighting you and everything. And they were so aggressive. I played against Birmingham City youth team as well in the FA Youth Cup. Trevor Francis was playing for the first team. He only ever played in the Youth Cup to make sure that they beat us 6-0 that night at St Andrews. And again, they had 2 or 3 Scotsmen in the team who left their foot in all over the pitch. Yeah. It was extremely physical.
Youth team football wasn't it? It was a replica of the first team. There was no fanning out and having it. They kicked it up to the centre halves. You had to jump and head it. And it was a physical.
Well, the football combination would play the same time as the first team played.
Correct.
So if your first team played at home, Mick, then the reserves would go away and play at 3 o'clock on a Saturday afternoon.
Correct.
And you'd be playing against, we were in the football company, you're going to Chelsea, going to Ipswich and places like, and playing sometimes against 6 or 7 professional players who had made over 100, 150 games.
We only needed one sub there, didn't we, John? So I felt sorry for that poor fella. He wasn't picked in the first team, and he wasn't picked in the second team, and he might not even get on.
No, exactly, yeah.
Tough gig that one.
It was.
Did it help make you what you were?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, to this day, I'm still very much like it. Stand up for yourself.
Yeah.
You didn't have somebody who would go and look after you on the wellness department. No, it didn't. It just didn't exist.
Mentally or physically?
No, mentally. That you couldn't go and chat to somebody about your performances and all that. You knew when you played well. You knew when you played shit.
Yeah.
And I didn't need anyone else to tell me.
Nor after Dad.
No, because my dad would tell me later anyway.
It's funny that we, as players, you might pretend that you're not been playing that badly, but inside you know, don't you?
You know when you come.
And I guess that's a bit like a management with your team.
Yeah, of course.
You have to protect them, don't you?
Yeah,
and
of course.
You have to protect yourself.
Yes.
But deep down, you're having one.
As a player, John, and you go through the teams that you played for, and like Mick said, loads of games you've played.
Yeah.
The managers you work for, who were the most influential? Who shaped your career as a manager most?
Venables probably shaped my career more than anybody. He was the first coach, really, Mick, that I'd come across.
Yeah.
You know, his first one that actually took you onto the training ground. Up until then, and that was, I went to QPR in 1981. Up until then, like a warm-up in the morning was 4 laps of the pitch.
Yeah.
You know? 4 laps of the pitch, and then 11v11, where you kick fuck out of each other, you know. There was 11v11, and then you did that the next day as well, and the day after. There was no, what I would term as coaching, and I went to QPR, and suddenly you're doing 3v3s, you know, with a man on each side, on the touchline on each side, so you could use either side. So suddenly you're 5 against 3. Yeah. You're playing 5 against 3, and suddenly we had these little small goals at the end of the pitch. I'd never seen one of them before.
You were given a reason why you were doing things.
Correct.
Whereas the 11v11, you just got told what you were doing wrong and how perhaps you could do it right.
Correct.
But the coaching that you're talking about it was revolutionary, wasn't it? When somebody comes in and goes, right, we're going to do this.
Amazing.
And this is the reason why we're doing this.
Venables was Pep Guardiola.
Yeah.
40 years ago.
Yeah.
He was.
Yeah.
He was Pep Guardiola.
Yeah.
It was innovations he'd come up with, different coaching methods. I've always said I used to drive in the mornings and see Terry out putting cones and bibs and everything. And I was thinking, God, what are we doing this morning? You know, and what we did on Tuesday morning was completely different what we did on Monday morning.
Yeah.
And on Wednesday, if we're in on Wednesday, it was a completely different session again.
Was it all relevant to the game you were playing on a Saturday?
Yeah, of course, yeah. He taught me how to get the ball off the back four.
Yeah.
I can remember it clear as bell. He taught me how to get the and I said, well, but I'm marked. And he taught me how to sort of cross over with one of your own teammates and become free. If you cross over with one of your teammates, does the defender stay with you or does he go with the other guy and all this shit? Anyway, he was instrumental in turning us into a really good football team. And he taught me so much as a coach on the training field. Other managers, Arthur Cox was up there.
Yeah.
Brilliant man manager.
Yeah.
Didn't really do much coaching.
Yeah. Yeah.
So if you could get a combination of those two. But Arthur was just, you're no Cox. Yeah. I mean, he was just...
A year after hanging up your boots with all these guys and what you're learning, you take up a coaching role at Leicester City under Brian Little in 1991. Then followed into Aston Villa when he moved to Villa Park 3 years later. How significant was that period for you with Brian Little?
I was sat at home, and I've told this story before to you, but I sat at home. I didn't actually sat at home. I was in my garage at home. I had this little piece of AstroTurf in my garage, and I got my golf club. And I'm chipping the plastic golf balls into a flower pot. I've got a flower pot at the end of my garage, and I'm chipping, and I'm thinking. All of a sudden, I've sort of looked at myself and gone, "What the fuck are you doing?"
Yeah,
really. I mean, I was doing this, and I'm like 34 years old. I'm thinking, what am I doing? And I'm obviously out of work, not doing anything. Anyway, a couple of days later, phone rings. It's Brian. Not spoke to him for quite a long time. And he said, oh, you know, I've just took over at Leicester. And I said, yeah, I've seen it. And he said, why don't you come up and have a chat with us? He said, I might have something for you. Anyway.
Sorry, John, what was your relationship with him? Had you played with him?
We played together at Villa, We played together at Villa,
yeah.
And obviously we'd sort of kept in touch a little bit over the years.
So he gives you the call.
Each other. Yeah, and he said, come up. And he said, so I was my wife had a Renault 5. I didn't have a car. My wife's got a Renault 5. So,
she still got it now, has she?
Yeah.
we were paid well in those days, weren't we? Was it a GT or was it?
No, it wasn't a GT. I drove up to Leicester in this Renault 5, and I thought, I can't go to the ground in a Renault 5. Come on. So I drove to Leicester railway station. I thought I'd park it at the station. There'll be a car park there. I'll park it, and I'll get a taxi to the ground and make out I got the train.
Hey, you've got standards, mate. I'm pleased.
Exactly. So that's what I did. No, I went into the ground. Anyway, I saw Brian, and he offered me the job. It was 15 grand a year.
Yeah.
£300 a week.
That much.
That much. £300 a week. And anyway, this was probably June.
Yeah.
So obviously we're back in the first couple of weeks of July. So he took me in there with Alan Evans, and the three of us worked together. And it worked out great. I was a midfield player, Evo's a defender, and Brian's a striker.
Covered all bases.
Yeah,
So did you do a lot of coaching yourself then?
Yeah,
John?
I did a lot. And Alan was brilliant on the administration side.
Yeah.
He was close to Brian with the office stuff, all that kind of stuff, and obviously on the training field. But I tended to take over most of the training.
Was it most of the stuff you'd learned from Terry?
I'd written stuff down over the years, you know.
Did you go to Lillyshaw? Did you used to go to Lillyshaw on the week's coaching things then?
I didn't go on a regular basis, no.
I just wondered whether
I didn't enjoy it. I took my prelim.
Right.
And that's all I did.
Actually, at the time, you could manage without it, though.
Yeah.
Yes, you didn't need it.
You didn't need it because,
No.
So it's only later on in life that
Correct.
you had to have your full badge,
And by that time, I was in the Premiership.
Did you never think about taking it, John, or you just...
No, I just...
You had a blank on it?
I recall Liverpool's coaching staff talking about how they went there for the day and
then came home.
They left at lunchtime. And they'd just won the European Cup for the fourth year or something, you know, and I just thought, well, if they're saying that, it must be right. So I didn't want to take any badges or anything.
Well, you did all right without it, mate, so you're fine.
No, we didn't. So that was that really. But no, going back to the Brian, with Brian, there was me, him and Evo that then took over the team, and we got to 3 playoff finals. You know what it's like. And the first one we went, Blackburn beat us with a penalty. They beat us 1-0. That was just when they were on the way up, before they won the Premier League.
Yeah.
And then the second year, we played Swindon. We were 3-0. Glenn Hoddle was player manager.
Yeah.
They were 3-0 up against us, and we got back to 3-3. And then they got a penalty. Beat us 4-3.
Don't talk about playoffs and penalties to me, John.
I know, you don't like that. No, and then the
third one.
Third year we won.
Me, by the way.
Third year we beat Derby. After being 1-0 down, we come back and beat Derby 2-1 and got in the Premier League, you know. And Leicester is a good football club. Yeah. Bloody good football club. And fans were amazing, were brilliant. And obviously they were still at Filbert Street in those days. So
that was some stadium.
Yeah.
Well, like all of them, it's just a replica
brilliant.
of everybody else, I guess.
Well, I'll just tell you a quick story about in the last year, our third year there, we played Cambridge United. Johnny Beck. Oh, and we went there on a Sunday morning, like 12 o'clock kickoff. Okay, Sunday morning. So we've obviously gone in the dressing room, freezing cold. It was middle of winter, freezing cold. He's obviously switched off all the radiators. Tea comes in, cat's piss. You know, somebody's done something in the
and biscuits. And biscuits.
No, I didn't get biscuits. No, didn't get biscuits. So, and we're playing obviously Cambridge United, and Dion Dublin was playing for Cambridge.
Yeah.
And I'd never seen anything like it, mate. They hammered it. They beat us 5-1. Absolutely battered us. Launched the ball from every part of the ground into the corner flag. Down Quality Street. You remember Quality Street?
The grass was longer.
But the grass was longer, Keeps it. Quality Street. They had a sign that said quality, and it was fluorescent. You could see it. You can see it from Scunthorpe. You know what I mean? It was and they had to aim at aim the ball at that corner flag and get a throw in and everything. They battered us 5-1. We ended up playing them in the playoff semi-finals. And by then we knew all about them. And we beat them 5-1 at Filbert Street, which took us to Wembley. So, I always remember them days. And I remember, obviously, me and Dion crossed paths a little bit later on. But always remember that,
So you had a great time at Villa, obviously.
Yep.
And then in 96, you take the decision to leave Villa to take the managerial reins at relegation threatened
Wycombe.
Division 2 side, Wycombe Wanderers, What convinced you to take that jump?
It was close to home. And I'd said when me and Brian went to Villa, when we left Leicester and went to Aston Villa, I sat with him and he said, I want you to come with me to Villa. And that was brilliant. Obviously, we both played for Villa in the past. We knew the place inside out. We knew so many people there.
You knew the chairman.
Knew the chairman. I didn't know him that well, though. Brian, no. I didn't know.
Yeah.
I didn't know what he was really like.
Yeah. We'll get on to that.
Get to that later.
Yeah.
But no. So I obviously we'd gone to Villa, and I said to him I remember when we first went there, I said, "Listen, Gaffer, in a couple of years, I might want to actually go off and try it myself, and sit in the big seat." He said, "If you do, it's because you've done a great job for me, that somebody else would want you." And he said, "I'll make sure that Doug doesn't ask any compensation for you." So he said, if it does ever happen, he said, it'll be good. It'll be great. So literally 2 years to the day, I was up at Newcastle. We were playing Newcastle United on a Monday night football.
Yeah.
And which Yorkie scored a hat-trick that night. We lost 4-3. But when we got to Newcastle, checked in the hotel, I saw Alan Parry.
Yeah.
Who was a director at Wycombe.
Yeah. Yeah.
And we said hello, and he said, do you fancy a manager's job? So I said, why? Why is that? He said, we've sacked Alan Smith today, and we're looking for, I said, to be honest, I said, I'd quite fancy that, So
that was a chance meeting.
It was, yeah, completely. So that I ended up getting an interview that week, and they offered me the job, and I kind of took over on the Saturday. We played Wrexham at home.
How was that then? When you going in the hot seat and you're on, as you said, in the big seat?
I was ready. Yeah, I was ready. I was kind
of
of ready for it. I sat and watched Brian for 5 years. We've been together for 5 years.
Yes.
And I sat and watched him and listened to him and how he went about things. And I used to love it because Friday night, or should I say on a Friday, I used to go out with all my mates up in Leicester. I had a load of mates. We'd go out Friday night. I didn't even know what the team was the next day.
Yeah.
I'd done my bits, I'd done all my bits and pieces.
So it was up to Brian.
It was Brian's problem now, So I didn't used to worry. I just enjoy myself Friday night with all the boys. Come in, obviously have the game on the Saturday. And then Monday lunchtime, there'd be a fucking queue outside his office. And I used to pop my head in the door and said, "See you in the morning." He'd say to me, "Is there anyone outside?" I said, "Yeah, there's about 6 or 7 want to see you." And it was his problem.
Yeah.
And there'd be the guy that didn't play at all Saturday.
Yeah.
There'd be somebody else who was made sub and never went on. There'd be somebody who took off and been substituted.
You've got it.
They were all there, you know what I mean? There's a big queue of them out there, all with baseball bats,
Safety in numbers.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But they're all sort of waiting to go in and have words with Brian, and he's obviously going to have to defend himself.
So what was the difference going into Wycombe?
I knew that was coming. I'd had my sort of a bit of a...
You must have been ready for it, I know. You relish it, don't you, as well?
I was ready for it. I was ready to sort of make the vital decisions and that. And I didn't know at the time, but I ended up having the best chairman I ever worked for, a guy called Ivor Beeks.
Yeah.
He was brilliant to me, Tony. How he treated me, how he looked after me. Never interfered with football issues, financial issues, yes, but other issues... football issues, he just wouldn't get involved.
How did you do? Did you?
We did okay. We stayed up. We wanted to stay.
Yeah,
we stayed up. That was the whole reason for being there, was to keep me in that division.
Yeah.
And I can remember one week we lost at home to Preston 1-0. Stevie Harrison was at Preston as one of the coaches, and we lost 1-0. And after the game, the chairman come in my office, Ivor, and he said, "You all right, son?" And I said, "Yeah, fine." He said, "Don't worry. We'll win next week."
Yeah.
And then went out, and that was it. And that's how he was.
How much better did that make you feel, rather than somebody coming and saying, "I'm not so sure about your substitutions."
Exactly.
I wouldn't have played him up front today.
Exactly. No, that's how it was, Mick. He just come in.
It's funny that, because he's doing his management job. He's managing you there, and he gets the best out of you by being like that.
I used to say about Peter Coates. Peter Coates would only ring me when we lost games to give me a jolly up.
Yeah.
He'd never ring me when we won.
No.
And I can remember sitting down having dinner with him one day and say, "Pete, you never ring when I win. You don't need me ringing.
No,
you only need my help when you've lost.
Yeah,
and I'll be there with you."
Yeah.
And then in the end, you do. They earn respect, and you give them that respect.
Well, I like you've just told me a story of your chairman. I'd speak to other managers and everything, and I'd say, nightmare.
Yeah.
Nightmare this. Yeah. On the phone every 5 minutes, rings me in the morning before training, rings me after training, rings me at night when I'm at home having my dinner. And I just thought, well, this bloke I've got at Wycombe is first class. And I come across some good owners in my time, but he was the best.
The Managers with Mick and Tony is powered by BOYLE Sports, the home of the early payout. And why is BOYLE Sports the home of the early payout? I hear you ask. Well, with BOYLE Sports, if your team goes 2 goals up, you win. Job done. You're getting paid out. Singles, ACCAs, bet builders, it's all covered. And this also means that we need to reconsider some crucial games across your careers, Mick and Tony. In fact, I'm going to take you back to the Britannia Stadium, Halloween 2009, the first time Mick McCarthy meets Tony Pulis in the Premier League. Stoke go 2-0 up, but Mick, your Wolves team come back, draw 2-2, and I'm sorry, Mick, I'm taking the point off you. Because of BOYLE Sports' new laws, I'm afraid Stoke won that game. Congratulations, Tony.
Thank you.
There you go. So get paid out as a winner if your team goes 2 goals ahead, even if they go on to win, lose or draw. 90 minutes only, applies to singles and multiples. 18 plus, T's and C's apply. Back yourself with BOYLE Sports, the home of the early payout. Head to boylesports.com or download the app to find out more.
So you've had your Wycombe Wanderers with your favourite chairman. 2 years later, February 98, your old boss Brian Little resigns as Aston Villa manager.
Which I didn't know about.
And you get a call. Were you surprised, and did it feel odd replacing Brian?
We were playing Bristol Rovers. What was the name of that ground?
The Memorial Ground.
Memorial Ground, correct. Go down on the bus, playing cards on the bus with the staff, and got some music on, or got a video on, the lads. No social media.
No phones, nothing.
1998, no social media, no phones, no contact with the outside world, you know what I mean? So we're staying at a hotel in the centre of Bristol, and we go for pre-match. Pasta, chicken, whatever, beans on toast, 4:30. And we've gone into this, they put us in a private room. So we're all sat there, and suddenly the telephone goes in the room, and one of the waitresses comes over. She said, Mr. Gregory. I said, yes. She said, there's a telephone call for you. So I've gone, telephone call. Thought it was family. There's a problem.
Yeah.
No one rings me otherwise. So I've gone to the phone. And it's this voice says to me, hello, Johnny. And I recognise Marion Stringer. She's Doug Ellis's secretary. I recognised the voice straight away because obviously I'd known her for many years. And she said, Steve is looking for you. She always called Steve Stride. He was always Stevie. I was always Johnny.
Yeah.
Steve is looking for you. And I said, what's he looking for? Why is he looking for me? She said, oh, haven't you heard? And I said, no. I said, don't worry about that. I said, well, where is he then? He said, he's outside your hotel in Bristol. So I said, oh, okay, I'll pop out. I said to her, has he still got his Rover? The Rover car. We used to get the Rover cars, you know. She said, yeah, yes, he is. And I said, is he still on the same mobile number? She said, yeah. So I rang him, and he said, I'm sat outside the hotel. I said, oh, I'll come straight out. Went out, jumped in the passenger seat, and I have not a clue, Mick, what's going on. So obviously I'm thinking, what's he doing in Bristol? So there's obviously a reason why, and why is he talking to me? So there's something going on, and I'm thinking, Brian, he wants me to come back. That's my first thought. Brian wants me to come back. So I said, I've got. I said, that's what it is. He'll want me to come back because Brian's. I don't know if you know Brian that well. He's a pretty shy guy. He's
played
a bit
with
shy.
his brother.
Yeah,
Alan.
Yeah. Aston Villa youth used to kick me all over the place.
One of the toughest guys I ever came across.
Tough guy.
Sorry, go on.
Like him. So Stevie says, I'm trying to think, what is it? Oh, he said, have you heard the news? And I've gone, no. He said, Brian's walked out this morning. And I remember this, he said, he's dropped us right in the shit. And I went, I didn't know anything about it. So then I'm thinking, if Brian's walked out, all this is rushing through my head. Why have you come to see me? Where do I come into this conversation? Why am I even talking to you now? What's going on? So I have not a clue what he's going to say next. And he says to me, because I'm thinking, you want me to come back maybe for 3 or 4 games.
Yeah.
Because they're flirting with relegation.
Yeah.
Bit how Tottenham are at the moment.
Yeah.
They were down there right amongst it. You want me to come back for a couple of games, win 2 or 3 games, and then go back to Wycombe. That's in my head. Honestly, this is in my head. I can think of nothing else, no other reason. So he wants, obviously, you want me. So then he says, "We want you to come back." And I thought, I knew you were going to say that. So I said, "How long for?" Thinking it was for half a dozen games or something. And he says, "Well, forever." I said, "What do you mean?" So he said, "We want you to come back." I said, "Well, what as?" And he said, "As the manager." And I'm like, it's never even crossed my mind. That's what you're here
It's
for.
funny, isn't it, that you never even thought that.
Thought for 1 second.
Yeah.
I have to say, it is a good question as a manager, that.
Yeah.
For how long?
Yeah,
and for.
exactly. Yeah, exactly. So, he said, forever.
Yeah.
I went, right. I said, but obviously I'm under contract here and it's a great club. They've looked after me. Chairman's a great guy and this, that and the other. And anyway, I said, I shall need to speak with him first. So he said, okay. He said, I'll go back to Birmingham. And I said, I'll call you later on tonight after I've spoken to the chairman. So then I'm in a
predicament.
Yeah, but I'm in a daze as well.
How was your chairman with you then? Was he?
I saw him after the game.
Yeah.
How was the game?
The game we lost 3-1.
How much could you concentrate on the game without going on?
I couldn't, mate. Can you imagine?
Prior to a game to be offered the Villa job.
Yeah.
And it's like, and I'm thinking, as the time's going on, I'm thinking, they'll change their mind. If they don't hear from me soon, they're going to change their mind.
Or if Rover scored another one, they might change their mind.
Yeah, exactly. We suddenly get beaten 9-1.
I'll have to get out of here.
So I'm now sort of having a bit of a panic up, thinking, they're going to change their mind. They've obviously made a mistake. They've obviously been in touch with Ruud Gullit or something, and he's actually going to come instead of me. So, so I just went home. And
what was the chairman like?
he was okay. And he said, "You're under contract, and we've been talking about a new contract, haven't we?" And I went, "Yeah," but he said that there'll be a lot of compensation involved and blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
If that's what you want to do.
He must have understood, though, if he was such a guy that knowing full well you're going from Wycombe to Villa.
Yes.
He himself must have understood that was an obvious jump for you.
Yeah. I think.
But
So.
despite his,
He did.
We want the money. I'm sad to lose you.
He did.
All of that. You're still going to go.
We arranged to meet the next morning at 8:00 at his office. He had an office in Wycombe somewhere. So I said, "We'll come and talk." And he said, go and speak with them, etc., etc. But obviously we want to be looked after properly and blah, blah, blah.
Talking about chairmans, Villa, of course, had Doug Ellis as owner. What were those early interactions like with him? And
I didn't know him.
did you not know him? Did you not get
So you did everything through Steve, did you?
As a coach, as I was there with the coach when Brian was the manager, I never had to speak.
No, but I say when you go back as the manager first.
Yeah, but I never had to speak to Doug.
Did you not?
No, I didn't know him from.
Yeah.
I didn't know what he was like.
Yeah.
I didn't know. I see him on a match day when I was with Brian, and I'd say, "Hello, Mr. Chairman, how are you?" And he'd say, "Oh, fine, David, thank you." I say, "John." He'd say, "Oh, John." So,
David you off, did he?
Did you have David Gregory? Remember David Gregory?
Yeah, I
striker
did.
at Pompey.
Yeah.
I have to tell you, John, I missed that one for a while. He said, "Hi, David." I think I forgot your name as well there for a minute. Sorry.
Yeah, so
he slipped that one in.
He called me David. And
so who did the deal for you then?
I did.
Who was at Villa who did it?
With Doug and Steve.
Steve, yeah.
Doug wanted this, that, and the other, and he wanted a pre-season. They wanted a pre-season game.
Against
they wanted
Villa.
us to go pre-season.
Yeah.
So they get a lot of money out of that, and they wanted 250 grand. We settled on 250 grand compensation, and then, but I didn't know Doug. I didn't know what he was like. I'd never had any real actions with him at all. It was always Brian.
Yeah.
So I didn't know what to expect of him, and
so how did your time start there?
So I mean. The
first couple of weeks,
they were 15th in the league apparently.
Yeah, the first training session was on a Thursday. So I went back to Wycombe on the Wednesday and said goodbye to everyone. And on the Thursday, I've gone up to Birmingham. I've been on the Wednesday night. I was introduced to the media.
Yeah.
So I spoke to all the media on the Wednesday night. In the Evening Mail, the Birmingham Evening Mail, on the Wednesday night, they had 10 pictures of prospective new managers for Aston Villa.
And you weren't in one of them.
I weren't in one of them. There was, like I said earlier, there was Ruud Hurlich, Van Basten. There was everybody in there except me. And obviously I ended up being appointed. So on the Thursday, I went and said goodbye to the lads at Wycombe and then went to take my first training session and at Bodymore, as you know.
Yeah.
So we went out onto Bodymore and we're doing some crossing and finishing. And someone's crossed it. Collymore headed it, top corner, great goal. One of the coaches comes up to me. He said, "You've won him over straight away." I said, "What do you mean?" He said, "That's the first time he's headed a ball in 6 months." And I've looked at him and I thought, no, because I'd obviously heard the stories.
Yeah.
Stan was the only player that was different at the club than when I left 16 months ago.
Honestly,
he was the only one.
So you knew
different.
everyone.
I knew everybody except him.
Yeah.
Let's just tell them though, everybody. You arrive with Villa 15th in the Premier League, and you absolutely smash it out of the park, winning 9 of the final 11 matches. Villa finished 7th and qualified for the UEFA Cup. I mean, tell us, what did you do to inspire that turnaround? Because if you can get it into me now, I might take another job.
I don't know. I just went in.
It's an incredible turnaround.
Yeah, it was. And you know, we lost 2 matches. Who they were against?
Manchester United.
No.
It'd be the
it was the other ones.
two relegated
Go on,
sides,
tell
wasn't
us.
it?
Say that again.
2 relegated
Two relegated
sides.
teams.
Yeah.
Barnsley beat us 1-0 at home.
Oh, good. I'm happy with that.
I knew you'd be happy. And Bolton beat us.
Did they?
Bolton beat us, I think 3-1 or 2-1. They beat us at home, and they both got relegated.
Incredible,
That
that.
would teach them, wouldn't it? That would teach them to win at Villa Park.
I was waiting for you to say that.
That would teach them. No, they both got relegated. But shame. But no, we won 9 out of 11.
Any interaction now with Doug?
Yeah, so I've now started to on the day I signed. Okay, so I've gone to the press conference, and we've gone to Doug's office beforehand.
Yeah.
They don't know it's me that's going to walk out. Again, no social media. Nobody sort of said anything. I'm actually going to walk out into a press conference, and people are going to go, "Oh my God," or "Oh shit." One or the other.
20 others to pick from.
Yeah,
and we've got him.
Are you mad?
And we've got David.
We got David Gregory. So we go to Doug's office. Right? We go to his office, and he's ordered a tray of sandwiches. So they come up on a big silver salver, all these sandwiches, all cut up nice and everything. And we all have a drink and everything. And now I'm going to go and do the press conference. So Doug says to me, "Where are you staying tonight? What are you doing?" I said, "I'm not even crossed my mind." And obviously I knew where he lived and everything. I said, I'll come and stay at yours.
You said that.
I said that to him. No, I said, "I'll come and stay at yours." So he said, yeah, no problem. So do all the press conference, took like 2 or 3 hours or whatever, did everything. And then I said, I'll come back to your house. I know where you live. I'll So I've gone to the house. Now, I was expecting like a butler, a housekeeper, a cook, a chambermaid. I was expecting everybody to be there.
You can see how big time he was.
No, I was expecting. Doug, he's a multi-millionaire. He must have staff that work for him.
He just signed for 250 grand.
Oh yeah, I forgot.
Come on.
So I've gone in. I've gone in. He's opened the front door to me. I've gone in the house, and when I sat down, he said, "I'm knackered, to be honest. I've done a press conference like for 3 hours, been talking."
Takes out of you. Yeah.
I said, "I'll tell you what. I'll go make us a cup of tea." So I go into the kitchen, and as I walk into he said, "Yeah, come." So I go into the kitchen, and in the kitchen is the silver salver from the club. And it's got about half a dozen sandwiches on it, and all the ends are curled up. They've all gone hard.
He's brought them home.
And
that's why he's a multi-millionaire.
Exactly. So I've then gone back into the lounge, and I said, "Have you brought them?" And he went, "Yeah." He said, I didn't want to throw them away, John. I just don't want to waste it. They're decent sandwiches. And I'm thinking, he's a multi-millionaire. Why is he taking sandwiches home from the club? So that was my first sort of inner look at him and how he behaved.
I would imagine if you thought that's how he's going to work at Aston Villa with his signings and things like that, you're not going to spend much money. If he's bringing sandwiches home, I'd be slightly worried.
Yeah, I just thought maybe it's a one-off, but that's how he was with everything,
And what about the group of players you had there?
It had been well highlighted through the media over the previous 16 months that I'd been in Wycombe.
Yeah.
That there was problems going on
behind
the scenes. And it all seemed to happen when Stan signed. It seemed to disrupt the whole dressing room. And because I knew that dressing room, I knew what they were like in there, and knew there's some good players in there.
So what did you do to sort it out?
Well, I just sort of viewed it myself before I made sort of judgment on Stan, and he seemed fine, he seemed good, he seemed all right around the place and everything. He seemed happy, he was smiling. Didn't really think what sort of fuss about it, he seems fine. Played Liverpool at home on the Saturday. And they brought their first team. They scored after 5 minutes. They got a penalty. Graham Poll was the referee, and Bosnich pulled down Leonardson.
Yeah,
Ovind Leonardson. He chopped him down in front of the whole end, and it's usually a red card, and he gave him a yellow. He obviously stayed on, but they get the penalty. And I'd seen Michael Owen in the first 5 minutes, mate. I'd never seen anything like so unbelievably quick. He took the penalty, scored. So they're 1-0 up, and I'm thinking, 1-0 after 5 minutes, this could be serious, We end up, Collymore equalised just before half-time. Then he scores the winner in the second half. I take him off with about 5 or 6 minutes to go. Standing ovation. The whole ground stood up. Standing ovation. And I'm like, what's the problem with Stan? There's no problem with Stan. He's been amazing. He's chased fullbacks, back passes. He's chased them all the way to the goalkeeper. And then when the goalkeeper's thrown it out to the fullback, he's chased after the fullback. He's headed it, kicked it. The most talented footballer I ever worked with.
Yeah, well, honestly.
Is he?
Yeah.
Most talented. Yeah. The ability that he had, Mick, was amazing. Left foot, right foot, in the air, pace, speed. Body, he was like 5% body fat.
What was his attitude like, though, John?
Well, I just thought it was amazing. And people kept saying to me,
"You wait
till next week, wait till the week after, whatever." We played Atletico Madrid on the Tuesday night. I've suddenly walked into the quarterfinal of the UEFA Cup.
Yeah,
from League One. I think Wycombe were playing. They were playing Stockport County, I think, on the weekend. And
that doesn't happen very often unless you get the manager's job at Nottingham Forest, of course.
No, exactly. No, exactly. So I'm suddenly now in the quarterfinals, and we're playing Atletico Madrid away. And I picked Stan, obviously, and he didn't move an inch. He honestly, Mick, he did not move an inch. I mean, what's all this about? And I took 5 minutes after half time, I took him off.
Yeah,
because he just wasn't no contribution whatsoever. Took him off, and then it sort of hits home to me. This is what he's like.
No, it's a shame.
Every day there was something, and obviously what then came after that was the Paris incident with Stan. That was in '98.
Ah, okay.
That was in the World Cup. So I'd been there. He's my player, and I'm now getting the blame for his behaviour. It's my fault.
How did you respond to that, John?
It was so difficult, Tone. Obviously, I heard the news, and it's like, what can I do about it? There's nothing I can actually physically do about it.
You're waiting for the avalanche of press and media and all that.
Which came, and where's Gregory in all of this? Why hasn't he done something about it? Why has he allowed him to go to Paris? The season had finished, and you know yourself, you don't tell your players where you can go and where you can't go in the summer. Yeah. Just go away and have a bloody good holiday.
Time.
Another story I could just tell you about Stan was he's full of remorse. When I eventually sit down with him, he's obviously full of remorse. And I'm going to come back early, pre-season.
Yeah.
This is really going to be my season, blah, 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 blah. Come back to pre-season. He's paid £250,000 by Diadora to wear their boots.
Yeah.
Comes back a week early, training, puts on a pair of Nikes.
Oh.
All the paparazzi are there taking pictures of him. And he's obviously running around the training ground in a pair of Nikes. They got the pictures. Theodora got the pictures. Now, again, this becomes my problem.
Your problem, yeah.
Theodora come on to me. What's he doing? Wearing a pair of Nikes. Didn't you see him going out in the night? Why didn't you stop him?
Yeah.
It's suddenly my fault again. So all these things are escalating on a daily basis, and it all reverts back to Stan.
What players do impact the manager, mate. Definitely.
Yeah, but the other 19 were fine,
What was Dwight like?
Dwight had been brilliant. I had 11 matches. He'd been outstanding in all 11 games, even though we lost 2 of them.
Yeah.
The other 9, and again against Atletico Madrid in 2 legs, he'd been outstanding, been brilliant. Great around the place, funny boy.
Yeah. Bubbly.
Enjoys the nightlife.
Yeah.
But I didn't care because he performed it every Saturday, Mick,
Yeah.
None of us did mind about that. As long as I came in and turned up on a Saturday.
And he trained properly every day. He stayed out afterwards, finishing. I always used to work with him. When I was there as a coach, I always worked with Yorkie after training because he just wanted to stay and play.
Yeah.
I bet you enjoyed that.
I loved it because he's class.
No.
It was just class. Yeah. And it was quality working with him. And so during the summer, thinking about my team for next season, he was my focal point.
Yeah, of
Yorkie.
course.
I just built a team around him.
Yeah.
But he played. He was first choice every week.
Yeah.
Fantastic player. And obviously United had shown some interest, and I was getting there was obviously write-ups about it in the press that Ferguson was really interested in Yorke. Ended up speaking with Alex, and they offered 8 million to start with, and it was like, no, he's not going anywhere. Then it was 10 million, still not going. A lot of money in
those
98.
days. Oh, blimey!
Don't want to let him go under any circumstances. He's not going anywhere.
How was Yorkie? Did he come in to see you? Because that's
Yorke. He come to see
knowing
me.
that 10 million's been.
He said, he come in.
Anyone
Has
made
anybody
an
made
offer?
an offer or anything? knowing full well what was going on. So the season starts. He's not his normal self, Yorkie.
Yeah.
And we go to Everton, first game of the season. I think it was Walter Smith's first match.
Oh, yeah.
They had
Bless
the
him.
bagpipes on the field and everything. It was a very Scottish that particular day. And mate, Goodison Park is always amazing.
Fabulous.
It used to be an amazing place, mate. I used to love going there.
Fabulous place. Yeah.
Great place, atmosphere, every corner of the ground. It was always noisy. So I knew it'd be a tough game. And Walter being his first game, Yorkie, again, like Stan in Madrid, Yorkie never did a strop.
Yeah.
He did not move. He just sulked his way through the 90 minutes. Honestly, he sulked the whole time. Didn't bother, didn't chase back anything, didn't move, didn't look to get the ball, just not interested at all. On the Monday, he came to see me and he said, I don't want to play for Aston Villa anymore. And I went, what? You don't want to play for Aston Villa anymore? It was like an insult, huge insult, in my opinion, for him to actually say that.
Different times, wasn't it? Now, I guess there'd be an agent, they'd know that from the off. And I sometimes wonder when it's got to that stage, should we even play him?
Yeah, sure.
And then of course,
sure.
The press, if you don't play him, they say, well, it's almost like a fait accompli anyway. You know he's going to leave, but he's still your best player. You want him to play and try his best.
Yeah.
And you do that for the team, for the club, for all the fans.
Everybody.
And yet they turn up and actually don't try a leg.
Yeah.
But he'd have been under enormous pressure from the agent,
of course,
from Man United, from
Alex.
I think they're putting it in an impossible position as well. The players are
totally, yeah.
It's hard to judge when we've never been in that position as well.
Yeah.
Could he?
Yeah.
Possibly, probably continues. I mean, if it had played properly, he probably thought, I sulked all 90 minutes.
Yeah, John's going to get you.
And they ended up selling me. So that's the way to do it. He probably thought he was right in the way that he behaved.
Would you have done it, John, if he'd have pulled you before the Everton game and said, listen, I'm going to work my socks off today.
Yeah.
But Gaffer, I want to go.
So we were middle of August, I think. So we didn't have very long to make a mind up. But we end up selling him for 12.6.
Yeah.
Doug would have took the 8 million.
Straight away.
He would have took the 8 straight away.
The Managers with Mick and Tony is powered by BOYLE Sports, the home of the early payout. And why is BOYLE Sports the home of the early payout? I hear you ask. Well, with BOYLE Sports, if the team you back goes 2 goals up, you win, job done, you're getting paid out. Singles, ACCAs, bet builders, it's all covered. And this means we need to reconsider a crucial game in your career, Tony. I'm talking, of course, about the 1999 playoff final when your Gillingham team were 2 goals up with 5 minutes to play. Obviously, that means, in the eyes of BOYLE Sports, you have now won the Second Division playoff final, 1999. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
And also, West Ham won the 2006 FA Cup final, which is great. And commiserations to Liverpool for not winning the 2005 Champions League. And obviously, now Gillingham have won the 1999 Second Division playoff final. Commiserations to Nicky Weaver and Manchester City. Yes, get paid out as a winner if your team goes 2 goals ahead, even if they win, lose or draw. 90 minutes only. Applies to singles and multiples. 18 plus. T's and C's apply. Back yourself with BOYLE Sports, the home of the early payout. Head to boylesports.com or download the app to find out more.
Just one more player I want to talk about.
Yeah.
Gareth Southgate.
Southgate.
Did you ever see him becoming a top manager and managing England?
Yeah, there's part of me that I would say, because he was total professional.
Sir Gareth, by the way, I just have to
Sir
chip
Gareth.
in there.
Correct.
Oh,
yeah.
sorry.
Sir
Sorry.
Gareth.
You must have been away. You missed that bit.
He's always away.
Yeah, listen, we used to have. Remember, you used to have the pigeonholes with your fan mail and all
Yeah.
that.
Oh, right, there was never any fan mail in mine.
I'm sure there was. Or hate mail.
got any
Hate mail.
Go on, yeah.
We'd have 30 pigeonholes boxes with all the mail in, that used to come back in those days. People used to write to you and say, "Can you get me Tony Pulis' order?"
I bet there was a lot for that.
So I've seen players go up to the pigeonhole, honestly, and they'd pick up their letters and chuck them in the bin.
Honestly.
I've seen them do that. Gareth would take every envelope home.
Would he? And right.
And answer back to every single one.
Tells you something about him.
He was a top pro.
Yeah.
We used to call him Model. His nickname was Model because he was a model professional. Everything he did it. If you had to run down the line and back, he'd run down the line and back. Everyone else would
Never
stop.
short.
Everybody else would be 2 yards short. He'd go to the line, do it properly. So yeah, there's part of me that would suggest that he was gonna, if he went into coaching,
he was going to be
a
suitable
success.
for it in terms of with that outlook on how his
And
life
he'd
did,
do
his
it
football
properly.
did.
Everything he did,
He would do it properly. He would do it professionally,
So anyway,
as best he could.
98-99 season sees Villa enjoy quite a sensational start. After 20 matches, Villa sit top of the Premier League.
Yeah.
At that point, did you think you would win the Premier League? Had you got the cigar on at that time?
No.
Not quite.
I mean, there's if I remember rightly, we played the first 12 games. We won 8 and drew 4.
Yeah.
And it was a club record. They'd never had a start as good as that before.
Yeah.
That is some start to the Premier League.
Yeah,
by
it broke
the way.
it
It's an
broke a
amazing
record.
start.
Yeah.
And we played Southampton in the 12th game
Yeah.
away. And I thought, if we ended up winning 4-1. Dion scored a hat trick. And I thought, I want to capture this moment.
Yeah.
Because I knew we'd broken a record. I wanted to capture the moment. And there was a geezer at the Dell. It was the old dugouts. Little old dugouts you sat in. And there was a photographer there. I said, would you come on at the end and just take a picture of the team together? And he went, yeah, no problem. So he come over, took the picture, and I said, it's not to go anywhere else except for me. It's for my own collection. I don't want no one.
Yeah.
He said, no problem. I promise you I won't get it.
Yeah, I bet.
Monday, it was in the Star.
It
It's in the Daily Star on the back page. A huge picture of us, Everyone's gone, what are they doing celebrating?
Yeah.
Top of
John
the league.
Gregory asked me to take this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that really was for private use, but it ended up being in all the media. And but no, it was an amazing start, and we managed to hang on. During the months of October, November, December, we hung in there. And again, you look back on it today, and to finish 6th is
Dion must
quite
have been
healthy.
a good guy to have in your team. He's a great lad, isn't he?
Brilliant. He came in
He's a
and
good player, but a great guy.
oh, great bloke.
Yeah.
Be good around the place, dressing room, everything.
Fantastic.
Who was your leaders in the dressing room?
Southgate.
Yeah.
Southgate was good in the captaincy. Dion was just
Gareth
great, as you
Barry.
say. Gareth Barry never said a word.
Yeah.
He's very
He
quiet.
just played.
He just played.
Just kept himself fit and played games.
Mate,
and
he did. He's
unbelievable
just-
amount
he's
of games
just-
he's played.
Yeah.
Just amazing kid. I can remember he come up to me one morning. Now he's like 17, 18. He's in the England squad. Glenn Hoddles took him to train with the team, even though he wasn't actually in the official squad.
Yeah.
He wanted to train in the team. He said in the future he'll probably get in the team at some stage. So he's really doing well. He's playing every week for us, and we were playing.
Did
him
you take him from
in the
Brighton?
free. Yeah,
Yeah. That's it. I've got it. Yeah.
and we were gonna pay 50, 60 grand for him.
Yeah.
And of course,
Yeah.
he gets in the team at Villa. 17 he was. I played him at Sheffield Wednesday, went on as a sub, made his debut. So he's now in the team, and he stayed in the team. We started the new season in the Everton game away. He's in the team. He played left side of a three. So it was him, Gareth Southgate in the middle, and Hugo Ekiog.
It's not bad.
Three
is it?
central
Not bad,
defenders.
that, yeah.
But Barry, like things would be dropping out of the sky, and he'd bring it down in the box, and play a little 1-2 out. I mean, it'd be brilliant today. How the Premier League is today, it'd be brilliant.
Yeah.
Anyway, so he's doing great, and of course Brighton don't want to go to the tribunal because almost every week or every month, Gareth's doing something better, so his value's going up. He's now played sort of 15 times in the Premier League, and he's trained with the England squad. And we tried to nick him for 50 grand.
Yeah.
We ended up paying $1 million for him,
Oh, it was worth it.
which was clever on Brighton's part, but it was obviously worth it paying that. But the point I was going to make about him was about October, November time. He's now played about 15, 20 games in the first team. He come up to me on the training ground. And in training, we're doing a warm up, and he come up and stood next to me, and I said, "What are you standing there for?" He said, "Gaffer," he said, "I've got my driving test on Thursday," and he said, "I can only do it at 10:30 in the morning. They've got no other time. That's all I can do." So obviously, he said, "I know that we'll be training." So I said, "Okay." I said, "Go and take your test. If you fail, don't bother coming back." Okay. So he said, and I said, "Anyway," I said, "Have you got a car yet?" And he said, "Yeah." I said, "I bet it's a Porsche, isn't it?" He went, "Yeah."
He's checking his test.
He's got a Porsche Boxster,
Oh, wow.
and he's 17. I thought, oh my God,
How the world spins round.
and how football is changing. I mean, obviously these young kids. So yeah,
He'd have to be playing for Villa first team to afford his insurance at 17 in the Porsche Boxster, let me
absolutely.
tell you.
So, but he was again, he was just.
Good times,
Just
eh,
brilliant.
John?
He was brilliant. He never had to chase him about anything. He was always good. And the clever thing about it, Henry was his mate.
Great lad.
Chalk and cheese?
Yeah.
Chalk and cheese, but they'd
Great
go out
lad,
together.
mind.
Oh, yeah, no.
Great.
They'd go out together.
Yeah.
At 12 o'clock, midnight, Gareth Barry went home.
Yeah.
The other little
Lee
bugger,
went out.
the other little bugger, he couldn't go home at 12. It's too early for him.
He was a nightmare.
So
but
he was
a
5
brilliant
o'clock.
lad.
He was 5 o'clock in the morning.
And good player as well,
Yeah,
John.
that was
Wasn't
a
he?
good player.
He played
good
brilliant
player.
for us. Brilliant.
Good player.
Anyway, I said you finished sixth that season.
Yeah.
And the following season, once again, finished sixth. But you again went close to clinching silverware, reaching the FA Cup final.
Yeah, that was a big
The
disappointment.
last one at the old Wembley. Oh, wow, that was a...
Yeah.
It ends a
disappointment.
1-0 defeat to Chelsea. Is that defeat... Does that stick with you most? 'Cause
Stays with me.
I think everybody that comes in, we can all remember the defeats. Does that hurt you still? Does it, do you ever look back and think you could have done something different?
Oh, totally. I blame myself for not being more adventurous, being more offensive.
Yeah.
But at the time, I felt I always had a team that could score in the second half.
Yeah.
We were like a second 0-0 to me at half time was a great result.
Yeah.
We went in at 0-0. I thought we'll win because we're stronger than them, fitter than them. Both your teams were like that. I remember, we'll be stronger. We'll end up winning the game in the last 10 or 15 minutes. And we went in 0-0 at half time at Wembley. And I was like reasonably happy with that. I mean, they're a decent team, to be fair, Chelsea. Had some players.
Who managed them then?
Vialli.
It was
Oh,
Vialli,
was
was
it?
it?
Luca
Yeah.
was
It was a good time for him, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And so I really thought we'd kick on in the second half, but we just didn't perform. We didn't play, and the boys that you expected to do well, people like Carboni and that, Carboni was really quiet. He had a pair of gold boots specially for that game. And at the end, he went to the crowd and threw the boots into the crowd, and they threw him back. fucking threw him back. So
I know, but changing things for a playoff or a final is the kiss of death. Isn't it? I mean, Liverpool wasn't it who turned up in the
white
suits. I mean,
red rag to a bull, wasn't it?
Oh, absolutely. It just winds the opposition up straight away. Yeah, it does.
But we didn't perform, and again, I maybe could have put Egiog up front, for the last 10 minutes or something to try and get back in it. I honestly believe that we'd nick something,
So with all that, there was a year's past at Villa.
Yeah.
What was your relationship with
Doug?
Doug, because his reputation for being deadly always preceded him. Deadly Doug, as he was known as.
I think he called himself that.
Did he?
Yeah, I think so. I think
did he like that? Do you think?
He wanted to be famous. Oh, he craved fame.
Yeah,
he craved it. He knew that if he went and stood next to me on the side of the pitch, somebody would take a picture. Obviously, they want the picture of me.
Yeah,
but because Doug was there, he'd get in the picture, and suddenly he'd see himself in the newspapers or
he'd be delighted.
Yeah.
Was it that?
Hello. I've actually got. There's a photograph of me and Juan Pablo Angel.
Yeah.
Who I've welcomed to Villa. I'm holding his shirt up, and in the background,
It's Doug.
about 20 meters behind us, is Doug. He's right between the two of us. You can't mistake him.
Hello.
Yeah. They call it photoshopping. Yeah. He was in every photo.
Oh, brilliant.
We signed Ginola.
Yeah.
We signed David Ginola. And on the same day, we signed a kid called Alpay, Turkish boy, okay? And we're introducing them press conference at the Holt Suite behind the goal. So the offices at this end of Villa Park at the north stand, and the Holt Suite's at the other end. So we called a press conference, and what I used to do when we had a press, I'd invite the fans. I'd tell the fans to pitch up, and you can come in and see that we've just got this new player. So Doug's all over Ginola, and he knows that the media are going to be all over. So there's Steve Stride, company secretary, Mark Ansell, the financial director, myself, Alpay, David Ginola, and Doug. We come out of the offices. Doug gets in his roller with Ginola and drives off to the Holt Suite. Just those two. And there's the other. There's us other four. There's four of us, and we thought, so we walked. So we walked around the inside of the ground and climb up the terraces. And he's gone around. Obviously, when he's pulled up with Ginola, he gets out.
He's got all the press.
All the media are there waiting. There's him and David, and then we go inside, and there's a seating arrangement for 6 people. David sat down, and Doug's gone and sat right next to him and literally put his arm around him, And the media just taking pictures of these two together. And
how was your time there, John, at Villa? Best time?
Erin Dawes said to me, or should I say, I said to her, the day I leave Villa, it's all downhill.
You resigned as well, didn't you? You resigned.
Yes.
You resigned from Villa.
Yeah.
You were.
I did, but no. I just. What was the
reason for that?
I just didn't think. I tell you what triggered it. In the October of 2001, we went top of the league. We beat Bolton at home and went top of the league. And I wanted to buy Muzzy Izzet from Leicester, and I thought it'd be perfect. We'd just gone top of the league, and I wanted to buy Muzzy Izzet. It was going to cost us £5 million. Leicester were in turmoil. I think Peter Taylor had been fired there. And they were in the bottom 3 in trouble. And I wanted to sign Muzzy Izzet. And I knew him from my Leicester connections, desperate to come to us. I went to see Doug, and he said no. And I went. And
what was the reason? Did he give a reason?
No, he never said no to me. He said to me, "Where are you going to play him?" He said, "John, we're top of the league."
Yeah.
It was like, John, we're top of the league. We don't need another. I said, well, that's why we're top of the league, because we need another player. We need to add to it while we're strong. And he said, no. He said, I don't think that we've got 5 million to spend and all that, this, that, the other. And I went, what? We're top of the league and you're not going to improve it and keep us strong. And he said, if I signed him, where would you play him on Saturday? I said, he'd be on the bench.
Yeah.
He'd be on the bench. And I said, put him on the bench. You watch those 3 or 4 midfield players, mate. They ain't going to come off.
Yeah.
They're going to make sure they don't get substituted and get replaced by the new signing. Anyway, he said no.
He didn't get it.
He said no. And he'd never said no to me before. And I said, I want to call a board meeting. I want a board meeting tomorrow. I want the other 2 members, which was Steve Stride and Mark Ansell, financial director. I want a board meeting tomorrow, and I want us to talk about this again tomorrow. I said, because I need this. I need him. I need it to add him to this squad to keep us where we are.
Yeah.
Because we've been top before.
Yeah.
And I knew what it's like. Anyway, he said no. So I'll come back the next day. And obviously the other 2 directors...
They weren't having it.
They're going to agree with Doug. Whatever Doug says, they're going to agree with having it. So we didn't sign him. And I thought to myself, do you know what? I used to go, Southampton.
Yeah.
I'd get in my car. Southampton were playing. We're playing them in a couple of weeks. I'd drive down to Southampton and watch them. We did that, didn't we, in those days?
Yeah,
we used to go everywhere. Always go. And then the next night I'd go up and watch Newcastle play Liverpool on a Wednesday night or something. And then I'd come back in. Knackered.
That was there with John, wasn't it?
No, exactly. That's what we did.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking, I'm doing all this, and now you're saying no to me building on us, who are now sat top of the Premier League.
Yeah.
I just thought, this is killing me. This is killing me. You're a fake. You don't want to be top. The Leeds thing was going on. Leeds were spending all the money and going bankrupt at the time.
Yeah, it was David O'Leary and what's his name, wasn't it?
Peter Risdale.
Peter Risdale, yeah.
Yeah, and Doug was a bit frightened by what was going on at Leeds, and he always said to me, "We're never going to end up like Leeds, being bust, financially bust."
But how were you financially at the time? I mean, you talk about spending 5 million. You're not 20, 30 million in the debt as far as you would know,
sure.
And you'd been creative and good with the signings that you'd done.
I thought so.
You'd think, you want to stay top, you want to win the league, don't you?
Yeah,
it's small-minded small-minded might be the wrong description, because I get that they want to protect the club, the money and everything else.
Yeah, of course.
But if they're going to back you as somebody at top of the league,
that's what I wanted, and I just thought.
And it's
a matter of time. This is now.
It's not even about the club, is it? It's about trusting you that you know what you're doing.
Completely.
And I want to win the league.
We always used to say, when a manager has made a few mistakes, we used to say he's had his last check.
Yeah.
The club won't sanction another signing because he's bought 3 or 4 players who have turned out to be disasters.
Not good.
Yeah. And to be honest, we had a decent team. Most of the players had done been well. Good.
My predictions for this week are, I've got Norwich to beat Charlton at Charlton. Norwich have won 7 of the last 9. They've won the last 2. I think they're flying, playing some good football. Against Charlton, I think pretty much safe with 48 points. Nathan Jones has done a great job. They've won 2 and drawn 1 of the last 3. But I think Norwich are going to be too strong from their flying. Southampton to beat Oxford. Southampton unbeaten in 10. Won 7 and drawn 3 of those. Oxford, to be fair, they're unbeaten in the last 4, won 3 and drawn 1. Matt Bloomfield doing a good job, trying to get them out of the relegation. But I think Southampton are going to be too strong. They have got a chance of getting in the playoffs as yet, and they are chasing the 6th spot. So I fancy Southampton to win that one. MK Dons versus Barnet. MK Dons to beat Barnet. They're second. They've won the last 3. I think they want to be champions. They've scored 74 goals, a very good team. Against Barnet, who are actually in 10th, but they've lost the last 2. So MK Dons to beat Barnet. And last but no means least, Hull versus Sheffield Wednesday. Hull to beat Sheffield Wednesday, the 5th in the league, in the Championship. Southampton are chasing them, then Wrexham for the playoff spot. So Hull need to win that one to make sure they stay in those playoffs. Sheffield Wednesday, as we know, bottom of the league, worst season for them forever, I would say. But players are still having a go, but their season needs to end and reboot for next season. So there are my predictions for this week. And £10 returns £75 and 3p, including the ACCA boost from BOYLE Sports. Good luck, everybody. All the best.
I'll start up north with Hearts to beat Dundee. Hearts had a poor result on Saturday. I think they'll bounce back. They'll definitely be up for this one. With Celtic and Rangers now breathing down their necks, they need to get back on track. So I fancy Hearts to beat Dundee. The next one is closer to home. I'm going for Cardiff to beat Blackpool. They're second at the moment. They'll be absolutely desperate, I think, to win the league. They've played and managed this season so well. And, with a home crowd behind them, Blackpool, not a lot to play for. So I think Cardiff will win that game. And my third one is Lincoln against Rotherham. They've had, again, an outstanding season, Lincoln. And I really do think they've got everything to play for. Again, Rotherham are struggling a little bit. So I'm going Lincoln. And my final one is Borough to beat Blackburn at Blackburn. Borough have played really, really well over the 2 home games. Still got friends up there, and unfortunately have not taken their opportunities or their chances, but have played really well. I think that might turn. I hope it turns for them at Blackburn on Saturday, and they win that game. So there's my 4 bets. £10 returns £45.96p, including the ACCA boost from BOYLE Sports.
You return to management 6 days later. I didn't know that. That's right. 6 days later, relegation threatened Derby County. When you look back now, do you think you jumped back in too quickly?
Yes. Yes, I did. I think I should have done more research on Derby County and the situation they were in.
Can I just say, so that's one thing, but Tony and I, you've spoke about it.
Yeah.
We spoke about it with other managers, like Ange Postecoglou, leaving his job and going straight back into another one.
Without having any
So
rest.
we'll come back to you with Derby and what you thought about it, but you don't realise how knackered you are, how much it takes out of you, how much you give to the players, to the club, to the fans, everything else. And somebody might be listening to this saying, get lost, you get well paid and all that. Yes, they do, but it absolutely drains you and you give everything to the job. So I think that's my point.
And nobody will know what it's really like
Until you sit in the seat.
unless you've done it.
Yeah.
Nobody.
No, don't
100%.
judge a man.
I mean,
100%.
Every
John.
Saturday at Villa Park, there's 42,000
Yeah.
managers.
Yeah.
And
they're never wrong.
At Tottenham, there's 61,000.
As Billy Connolly says at the end of his book, never judge a man until you've walked a mile in his shoes.
Yeah.
Correct.
And then he says bollocks to him because you're a mile away and you've got his shoes.
Yeah.
But I don't think he means that, to be quite honest.
No, exactly.
Yeah.
It is the first sentiment of judging somebody, and that's all of us, of course, because we do.
I
But
actually,
being football managers, we know how much it actually takes out of you when you go home. You miss it, you're tired, you're grumpy, all of those things.
Like I spoke to you earlier about Brian, has got a queue of players outside his office and all that, and that's how it is. It's like every single day. Weekends, I've obviously gone home on a Saturday night. If you've won on the Saturday, you enjoy it for an hour.
Yeah. That's all.
2 hours if you're lucky.
That's all.
I've picked the team for the next game with still 10 minutes to go of the game that I'm fucking playing. I have. I've stood there thinking, well, he ain't playing next week.
I was
And
going
he
to say,
ain't fucking playing.
you've either
He
been
would have been
brilliant,
like that.
you've either been brilliant or you've been rubbish. Because
Well,
there's nothing in between, is there?
Completely.
John, just one thing, and we're going to wrap it up in a minute. You played in a certain era and managed in a certain era. Now you've got today, and from the outside now, looking inside, what's your views on the game today?
As I spoke to you earlier before we came in the studio, I saw Celtic and Rangers yesterday, and it just reminded me of kind of how the Premier League used to be, the First Division used to be. Players were getting tackled going down in the match yesterday. Celtic and Rangers, they were getting tackled, falling on the floor. The referee was totally ignoring them, and they suddenly get up and get back in the game, the player. Now they lay on the floor and they roll over for 10 minutes. The referee stops the game. The whole thing stops all of a sudden.
That league's great. The referee runs past them, ignores them completely, sees them on the floor, just walks past and they get up.
Completely. And that's kind of what I miss today. And obviously there's a lot of sideways passing and backwards passing and boring matches, lots of boring matches. I would watch, with respect to them both, I'd watch Charlton versus Bolton Wanderers on a Monday night football. I'd sit and watch the whole thing. And I've got dogs. I wouldn't take them out. Her indoors, I'd have to take them out on a Monday night. She'd take the dogs out because I'm watching the football. It's Charlton versus Bolton Wanderers, No, but that's how much I loved it. Totally loved it.
There's been some great games this week. So the European games, because you had to win.
Correct.
You had to win to qualify for the last 16. So the games were brilliant, and I enjoyed all of them.
Yes, correct.
And that makes a difference. Like, you're not just playing for a draw or anything else.
No.
But before we finish off, I've got to go back to you and say, did you think you jumped back into Derby? You were going to answer me. Sorry, I interrupted you saying about it. But too soon after leaving a job that you just left at Villa.
It's probably very true. I mean, I shouldn't have left to start with. That was wrong.
Was that a fit of pique by any chance? Was that?
It was just, I was a bit I was angry with Doug for months on end about how he doesn't kind of appreciate what I do. Like I said to you, I'll get in the car and drive here, there, and everywhere, scouting. I left a game at West Ham once at half time
to go to another game,
to go to South America to watch Juan Pablo Angel.
Yeah.
I left at half time because I had to get the 7:00 flight to Madrid, which in turn flew to Buenos Aires to go and see Juan Pablo Angel. And I left at half time. No one in the ground.
Did you win the game?
No, we drew one each. So it was all right. I was okay, but fortunately, but that's the kind of thing that you just constantly trying to improve. And I just thought, I've been doing this. I was there 4 years. I've been doing this now for 4 years. Get no thanks for it. You get no thanks for it.
You just wanted backing and support.
To
continue your improvement. You're top of the league.
I think that's most probably that knocks a nail on the head when you're talking about what we're talking about now is your relationship with the chairman.
Yes,
and important it's the most important relationship
without doubt, Tony,
at a football club.
Without doubt.
And if you've got the right one, then it's so much easier. But I do think, irrespective of that, there's a time limit, Mick. We've all got a time limit.
I thought I'd be there forever.
Yeah.
I really did. I looked at Wenger and I looked at Sir Alex, who was still, when I was manager of Villa, they were still working.
There.
They were still working. And I really thought, I'll be like them too.
So you said...
I was so happy.
You shouldn't have. Do you regret it all these years ago? Do you regret leaving Villa?
Oh, totally.
Yeah.
Totally.
I love your honesty, mate, anyway.
Yeah. No, totally. Big
They look
mistake.
after you now, John, when you go back?
As long as I pay to get in, yeah.
You can always get away with paying, mate. That's
exactly. As long as I pay.
Doug's ghost is still hanging around the ground.
he's still there. So
anyway,
no, they look after us.
Finally, because we're gonna wrap it up.
Okay.
One question: do you miss management? Question 2: would you like to go back into the game?
Yeah, but you
do you miss it first and foremost?
I totally miss it. Just, I mean, you both stopped playing.
Yeah.
And even though you went into coaching, you were occupied.
Yeah.
You were occupied. You had a job. You still missed the playing bit, didn't you?
Oh yeah.
And I think
there's nothing better than playing.
Oh, the playing bit was the great. The buzz in the dressing room, the Mickey taking, the fun that we had every day was fun. It was literally every day, wasn't it?
But you actually, I know it's not the same, but you continue that though when you become the manager or manager.
Yeah.
Because you're not in the dressing room, but you still enjoy that banter and camaraderie with the players and your staff.
You must have got it though as a coach.
Oh yeah.
You could still.
One foot in
Yeah. You'd have one foot in the dressing room with the lads. You'd still be one of the boys with them. They'd all love you and take the Mickey out.
You're the bit of you're the one that just softens the blow when the manager's giving somebody the 9 o'clock news. You have to give him the reason why he's giving the 9 o'clock news.
Correct.
And he's not such a bad guy. He's all right. The gaffer, but gaffer's under pressure.
Exactly. Yeah.
So all of that.
So that was.
So would you go back in?
Yeah, I'd go back in, but it needs to be the right project.
Yeah.
Where you got a chance and where you'd be supported and looked after and treated. I mean, what's this interim manager? Are we not all interim managers?
That's a good question. That
John,
Yeah, we are.
there's so many people
So-
now involved in the management side of it. Like I said at the beginning, you got the owner now who's most probably living in a different country.
Yes.
Then you've got the chairman who lives here. Then you've got the director of football. You've got the chief executive. You've got the chief scout or the scouting setup. You've got a medical setup. You've got so many people.
27 staff.
Yeah, that's what I mean. So when you travel away now, when we used to have a 52-seater bus, this would suit them. You get 52 on you now, but,
Easy.
but more than
Two
the
coaches,
players.
Two buses now.
No, that's what I mean. They get two buses. One for the staff and one for the players. It's just gone. It's
gone crazy.
Crazy, and it's difficult. I think it's difficult for a manager now to manage. I do.
Well,
Much
John,
more
you
difficult.
enjoyed
Thank you.
a fabulous career.
Yeah, it's
Thank
been
you very
brilliant
much.
talking
as
to
a
you.
player
Thank you,
and a
boys.
manager, and it's been great having you in and chatting to
Thank
you.
you
So
very much. Enjoyed
thanks
it.
for coming in, and
It's a pleasure.
good luck with everything you do,
Hope
buddy.
you brought some money.
Yeah, come on, we're going for a pint.
Go down and have a quick pint now.
Quick
mate.
pint.